how you can set up a basic Crabitat. First, you gotta start with Substrate. Alright, first you gotta start with Substrate. So the substrate you'll be using, this is sand right here, and this, the mixed into it, is Eco Earth. If you see, this is Eco Earth right here, and you can use straight sand, which is okay, but you can't use straight Eco Earth. I will explain that to you in some other video. Alright, so this is because this video is basically a Crabitat setup video. So what you're gonna start with is filling your substrate. This is a 10-gallon tank, and substrate has to be as high as your biggest crab. So this 10-gallon tank can fit like four small crabs like this big. So anything having to do with the Crabitat capacity, I got another video of that, so I'll put in the link in the description. So substrate, how deep does substrate have to be? All right, you see it from an angle right here. Substrate would have to be up to almost like 6 inches, like this much. When you have your small crabs, it would have to be this deep. So it would have to be like, see if you, because when your crabs don't dig down, they dig all the way to the bottom. So say this crab is down to the bottom, it would have to be one, 2, 3, about this much, you know. So it would be like almost, it could take like about half the tank, half the height of the tank. So yeah, if you got your substrate in and you got it all mixed up, make sure it's not dry, because you know, if your crabs have to like dig down, if it's dry like this, it can't make a stable hole. If you see my fingers, it can't make a stable hole because the hole will collapse with the sand in it. You have to make sure it's sandcastle consistency, and you can do that with gallon bottles of water. I'm not gonna do it right now because right now I'm just doing this for a demonstration. Yeah. And next, what you need to have is you're gonna need to have a hygrometer, one for temperature, and one for humidity. This is to read the temperature and the humidity, because temperature and humidity for your crabs would have to be about, okay, so temperature will be around in the 80-degree mark, and your humidity has to be in the 80% mark also. It can fluctuate a bit, just as long as heat doesn't fluctuate over 90 degrees or under 70 degrees. And your humidity can also fluctuate, but make sure it doesn't fluctuate way too much. Some other species of hermit crabs, such as the compressus, which is the Ecuadorian, they need a little higher heat, and they need a little bit more. I don't have Ecuadorian, so I'm still researching on that. I'm still looking up hair sheets and everything. I plan on getting Ecuadorians in the future, but I don't get them right now. Right now I'm still sticking with purple pinchers. So until I really know, I do a little bit of stagnant when I research my stuff. Okay, next thing you need for your Crabitat is you need a heat source. This is a UTH. It's an under tank heater. It's a heat mat that has adhesive that you can stick to the glass. But make sure you don't put you put this on the sides, the back on the sides but never put it on the bottom. If you put it on the bottom, your crabs, the crabs that are molting can overheat and then they can die. It would be too much heat for them and they can literally melt their bodies. Pretty horrible stuff right there, right? Okay, next thing you need... Oh wait, did I get cracked? No. Next thing you need, your next thing you need is your pools. You need one. You need two of them. You need one for salt water and one for fresh water. You can put pebbles in them like this to weigh them down. You can put pebbles in them to weigh them down like that. Or you can just dig them in the sand. You can also dig them in the sand and put pebbles around them to hold them in place. And then sometimes your crabs can dig sand into the pools, and that's where the pebbles. There are to keep them secure. You're also going to need a food bowl. This can really blend in with the succulents and the succulent and the beautifulness of your Crabitat. But you can also use this one right here. I'm not gonna get it out because it's got. Or you can. In my previous videos, I was using this, but I'm not using these anymore. I can sell them. I have 3 of them. If anybody wants them for their dogs or cats, just give me a holler. I'll give them to you. I'll sell them, or you can trade them in exchange for something else. Alright. So yeah, you're gonna need a food bowl. You're gonna need a food bowl right here. See, this fits in perfectly. Or it could be a bigger tank for this. You can use smaller pools, but just make sure they don't tip over and everything. You have this like the stone and these plants right here. These are optional. But this, you're gonna need a hide. Your crabs. I'm just using this for demonstration. Your crabs are gonna need a hide. They're gonna need a place to hide. So you can have this coconut hut right here. They also sell coconut huts in the pet stores and those gift shops. But don't settle for the ones that have the paint on them, because paint is toxic, and then your crabs don't want to eat that stuff and get toxicity, which that can really kill them. This is a Mopani wood. This is in the hermit crab hatch. They have the small ones right here, or they have really large ones. These are really made for bigger tanks though. This can also serve as a hide because you lean it over like this, and then your crabs can get underneath it like that. And these things right here, like these little stones, those clear stones in it, those are optional. You can use those to beautify the tank. So you put it right here, you know, makes a nice reflection with this light right here. Or you put plants in there too, just to make it. And this is like another bowl right here. You can put your calcium sources in this thing. Crushed oyster shell that you can get in the hermit crab patch. This right here. I don't know what this is, but I think it has a source of calcium in it. And you can put your little calcium bowl right here. If you have smaller pools, you can put it behind there or something. In little wood pieces, the crabs like to chew on them. Little wood pieces because they give them a source of tannins. Well, tannins is this. Here are those things. See how it makes it a little bit beautiful like that. People do their Crabitats in different ways. Everybody is different. So this is another piece of wood right here. They also chew on those right here. So you also have those in there. not to use for Crabitat? This right here. This, oh yeah. An update about my ice pods. Unfortunately, the rest didn't survive. So then I had like 7 of them left, and I put it in here. Could have probably gotten eaten up by my crabs right now. So this right here is a critter keeper. So this could only be temporary, that you can take to you can take to get new additions. So this is basically a homecoming enclosure, not a permanent Crabitat. And I'll talk a little bit more about humidity, but you know, for smaller Crabitats, you can use tropic air humidifier. I took this out and exchanged it for that. So I can do a product review on this in another video if you would like to see. And the water that you're supposed to use is dechlorinated water. You can use distilled water and RO water. Don't use tap water. If you're gonna use tap water, then you would have to treat it with a conditioner. Now I'm gonna just recap on that. Right. And the salt, don't settle for those salts, those commercial salts. You have to use Instant Ocean. Use Instant Ocean. Don't use the other ones. Those other commercial ones are toxic for your crabs.